Do you ride a bicycle as defined by Arizona traffic law? This video will answer that question. It's part of a series of videos on Arizona bicycle law that comes from the Traffic Skills 101 class, The Science of Street Cycling. And these slides came from that class. They're a collaborative effort of several people and the Coalition of Arizona Bicyclists and the LAB. This is part 1, Introduction and Definition of Bicycle under Arizona Traffic Law. Why do you obey the law? Well, if you look at this guy on the left-hand side, he has headphones on, he does not have a helmet, he's going the wrong way, he's on the sidewalk, and he has low tire pressure. He's not even looking where he's going. He's asking for a car to pull out from the nearby intersection or driveway and hit him because he's just not paying attention. On the right-hand side, you see a cluster of bicyclists and a red light. They are going through the light, not obeying the law, and they are taking up the lane more than 2 abreast, so they're not even following traffic law. So obeying the law will help motorists to have more respect for us on the road, and it also keep everyone safer, that road users, either drivers and other bicyclists, will know what to expect because you won't be running red lights or doing things that people just don't expect. What are the principles of traffic law? In general, if you drive a car, you know all of these. You want to drive on the right side of the road, and it's first come, first served. If you're in a lane, someone can't pull out in front of you, or if you get to an intersection where everybody stops, the first person is the one who goes first. You should obey traffic control devices, stop at red lights, stop at stop signs, yield to yield signs, etc. And of course, you want to observe speed lane and intersection positioning. Faster traffic tends to go on the left lane, slower on the right. And if you're turning left, you go towards the left side. If you're turning right, go to the right side. Of course, that is unless you're living in some place like Sun City, when I've seen people take a left turn from the right side of the road. But they're not following the traffic law, of course. William Phelps Eno was the father of traffic safety. He developed the first traffic code in the United States for New York City in 1903. In 1870, you can see in this photograph, traffic wasn't too bad. There was some carriages and horse-drawn carriages, and there's some rails there for the trolleys. But then by 1900, things were very congested, and there needed to be rules so people would know what to expect and how to behave to prevent accidents and major congestion. On to some general principles. Cyclists fare best when they act and are treated as drivers of vehicles. This comes from John Forrester's book, Vehicular Cycling. And if you think about this, if you act like a vehicle and you obey all the traffic rules that vehicles do, then you're going to be treated like another vehicle. People will know what to expect. You'll be communicating with them, and everyone will be safer. And in addition to that, you don't want to sacrifice your safety for the convenience of others. So keep that in mind. Richard Moore said that, and he's a league cycling instructor in Arizona and an engineer for ADOT. Now, traffic law, if you get pulled over by a policeman for violating a law when you're on your bicycle, you can also get a ticket, you can get a fine, you get points on your insurance, and you can even get an insurance increase. On to our main question. Is what you're riding on the road a bicycle? Under Arizona law, a bicycle means a device, including a racing wheelchair, propelled by human power on which a person may ride, and it either has 2 wheels, each of which is more than 16 inches in diameter, or 3 wheels in contact with the ground, any of which is more than 16 inches in diameter. So if you think about that, a very little kid that has a little tiny bike, the wheels are not 16 inches in diameter, then they are not a bicycle under Arizona traffic law. However, once a child is large enough to get a bicycle that does have a wheel that's 16 inches in diameter or larger, they will be considered a bicycle and will need to follow traffic laws on the roadway. And of course, if you have a tandem or another bicycle that has 3 wheels or a racing wheelchair, those are all considered bicycles. Riding on bicycles, there's also a requirement that each person that's on the bicycle must have a permanent seat. A person propelling a bicycle shall not ride other than on or astride a permanent and regular seat attached to the bicycle. And they shall not use a bicycle to carry more persons at one time than the number for which it's designed and equipped. So you can't put someone on your handlebars, and you're not supposed to put someone on some pegs off your rear wheel. They're supposed to have a seat permanently affixed. Now, if you add a child seat that's permanently affixed, then that qualifies to allow your child to be on it, but they can't just sit on the rear rack of your bicycle. So that's the overview of what is a bicycle under Arizona law. And my name is Kathy Mills. I'm a league cycling instructor and a member of the Coalition of Arizona Bicyclists. You can contact me if you have any questions, or the coalition to find out when you can schedule a class or join in a class that's already scheduled. This is part 1 of the video series. There's also other parts that talk about where should you ride, does the law apply to you, what is the 3-foot rule, what equipment does your bicycle have to have by law, and when should you turn off to allow others to pass.